I think she was happy, make no mistake about that. I think she had found a degree of happiness with Dodi Fayed that she hadn't found in other relationships, probably because, in my estimation, that it had been the first one she'd actually gone public with.
For years, people have speculated about what Diana might have discussed in her final call before the tragic car crash in Paris. But now King Charles has come forward with details about their conversation, revealing emotions that were kept hidden for decades. What exactly did they talk about? Was there a warning, a heartfelt goodbye, or something even more shocking? Join us as we explore the details of Princess Diana's final call with King Charles. Princess Diana's last call. Princess Diana's final conversation with her loved ones has remained one of the most emotional and heartbreaking moments in history. In August 1997, while she was in Paris, Diana made a phone call to speak with her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, who were spending time at Balmoral Castle in Scotland with their father, Prince Charles. At the time, William and Harry were just 15 and 12 years old, enjoying their summer break with their cousins at the royal estate. When their mother called, they were eager to get back to their fun and didn't realize it would be the last time they would ever hear her voice. Years later, in the 2017 documentary Diana, Our Mother, Her Life and Legacy, Prince William shared that he still remembered their conversation. He admitted that both he and Harry had been in a hurry to get back to their games and didn't talk for as long as they should have. Looking back, William deeply regretted not having spoken with her more. Prince Harry also recalled the call with a heavy heart. He revealed that he had spent only a few weeks with his mother before she left for Paris and had not seen her in person for some time. Though he was happy to hear her voice, he admitted that he ended the call too quickly because he was eager to return to playing. "If I'd known what was going to happen, I wouldn't have been so blasé," he said, expressing sorrow over not having spoken with her longer. It was later revealed in a 2021 documentary that after speaking with her sons, Diana made another call, this time to Prince Charles, her former husband. Journalist Richard Kay, a royal expert and friend of the late princess, recalled speaking with her that same night. He said Diana had seemed in good spirits and had told him she was eager to return home and see her boys again. Tragically, just hours later, she was involved in a fatal car crash in a Paris tunnel. Before her death, Diana's relationship with her sons was incredibly close. Despite her separation from Prince Charles, she remained a loving and involved mother, regularly visiting them and taking them on holidays. She also took William and Prince Harry on trips to amusement parks and even homeless shelters, ensuring they grew up with an understanding of the world outside the royal family. After her passing, William and Harry spoke openly about the pain of losing their mother. They recalled how difficult it was to travel between their parents' homes after their divorce, but they never imagined that phone call would be their last moment with her. To this day, they both express regret over not having spoken to her longer. Diana's final conversation with her sons and Prince Charles was a heartbreaking farewell that no one saw coming. She had planned to return home, eager to reunite with her boys, but never got the chance. Her loss was deeply felt around the world, and her legacy of kindness and compassion continues to inspire millions. Despite the tragic incident that claimed her life, Diana's last days were truly full of adventures and newly found emotions. What were these thrilling events? Surreal final days. Princess Diana and then Prince Charles's marriage had its struggles, which eventually led to a painful divorce that neither of them truly wanted. However, Queen Elizabeth II firmly encouraged them to separate, believing it was the best path forward. At the time, their split seemed like just another royal scandal, but no one could have imagined that it would be followed by one of the greatest tragedies in modern history. Looking back now, the warning signs were there. The emotional strain, the media chaos, and Diana's increasing isolation from the royal family. However, no one knew that the world would soon lose one of its most beloved figures. Netflix's The Crown explores Diana's final chapter in its 6th and last season, earning 18 Emmy nominations, including Best Drama Series. Elizabeth Debicki, who portrayed Diana, also received a second nomination for her role. The series attempts to capture the complexity of Diana's last months, her joys, struggles, and her unshakable determination to take control of her life. In reality, Diana's post-divorce future seemed full of promise. Despite feeling cast aside by the royal family, she still had her Kensington Palace residence, her title as Princess of Wales, and a $21 million settlement. But above all, she had her 2 sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, who remained the center of her world, and there were rumors that she was expecting another before her tragic death. Diana was just 36 years old when her life was cut short on August 31st, 1997. Since then, people have looked back on her final months with deep sadness. Even her happiest moments feel bittersweet, as if her future had been stolen before it truly began. However, Diana's last days were not just filled with sorrow. She was rediscovering happiness, embracing her independence, and even finding love again. The world eagerly watched, wondering what she would do next and who she would share her life with. In June 1997, she held a major charity auction at Christie's, selling 79 of her most famous gowns to raise $5 million for charity. This event symbolized a new beginning for her, letting go of the past and stepping into the future on her terms. After the auction, Diana made a powerful statement about her personal growth. According to biographer Andrew Morton, she said, "I have learned much over the last years. From now on, I'm going to own myself and be true to myself. I no longer want to live someone else's idea of who I should be. I'm going to be me." These words reflected Diana's determination to move forward. She no longer wanted to be defined by the royal family or the media. She wanted to build a life that was authentic, fulfilling, and focused on making a difference. Diana's journey after the dissolution of her marriage with Prince Charles was even more fascinating. What events made it truly appealing? Life beyond the royal spotlight. For 15 years, Princess Diana had lived in the spotlight, gaining a deep understanding of people and communication. By 1995, she had spoken about how her experiences had given her valuable insight and expressed a strong desire to use that knowledge for good. In a famous BBC Panorama interview, she had shared that she wanted to connect with people and make a difference. Her personal life had been turbulent, and after years of separation, her divorce from Prince Charles was finalized on August 28, 1996. However, rather than stepping away from public life, Diana had used the opportunity to redefine her role. Later that year, in December 1996, she had traveled to New York, where the United Cerebral Palsy Organization had honored her with the Humanitarian of the Year award. The recognition had reinforced her growing identity as a global humanitarian, rather than just a royal figure. By 1997, she had fully committed herself to charitable causes, particularly those helping victims of war and disease. In January, she visited Angola with the Halo Trust, walking through a minefield in protective gear to highlight the deadly impact of landmines. The powerful images from the visit had captured the world's attention, further proving that Diana was determined to use her influence for meaningful change. Her dedication to humanitarian work had taken her across the world. In May 1997, she had been invited to Chequers, the British Prime Minister's countryside residence, where she had met with Tony Blair and his wife, Cherie. The discussions had reportedly focused on possible collaboration in charity work, and Diana had made it clear that she intended to continue advocating for global causes. That same month, she had traveled to Pakistan to support a hospital fundraising event led by cricket star Imran Khan, who would later become the country's prime minister. Her efforts had been praised, showing her ability to rally support for important causes, even beyond the UK. By June 1997, Diana had continued her high-profile engagements. She had attended a performance of Swan Lake at the Royal Albert Hall, and shortly after, she had traveled to the White House, where she had privately met with First Lady Hillary Clinton. A few days later, she had auctioned off 79 of her most famous dresses at Christie's in New York, raising millions for AIDS and cancer charities. Her public image had undergone a transformation. The July 1997 cover of Vanity Fair, titled Diana Reborn, had symbolized a new beginning for her. The famous designer Gianni Versace had remarked that Diana seemed to have found peace within herself, adding that during their last fitting session, she had exuded confidence and serenity. Let's delve into the captivating story of Princess Diana's summer escape, a time of freedom and newfound romance after the turbulence of her marriage. Diana's summer escape. In the summer of 1997, Princess Diana embarked on a luxurious getaway that captured the world's attention. At 36, she was at a turning point in her life, looking for happiness, freedom, and perhaps even love. Her summer plans led her to the sunny shores of Saint-Tropez, where she found unexpected companionship with Dodi Fayed, the son of wealthy businessman Mohammed Al Fayed. Diana had long shared a warm friendship with Mohammed, the owner of Harrods, London's most famous department store. He often arranged for her to shop in private after hours, away from curious onlookers and flashing cameras. That summer, he extended a generous invitation, offering Diana and her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, a chance to relax at his extravagant vacation home in Saint-Tropez. For Diana, the timing was perfect. At the time, she was healing from heartbreak after ending a serious relationship with heart surgeon Hasnat Khan, a man she deeply admired. Their romance had been intense, but Hasnat valued his privacy and found it difficult to adjust to Diana's global fame and the constant invasion of privacy. Who could blame him? Their differences made a future together impossible. Adding to the tension, Prince Charles was hosting a grand 50th birthday celebration for Camilla Parker Bowles, his longtime love. Diana had no desire to be anywhere near that gathering and instead sought a peaceful escape. Her invitation to Saint-Tropez was the perfect getaway to clear her mind and explore her new relationship status. Diana arrived in Saint-Tropez with William and Harry, embracing the sun-soaked days filled with laughter, swimming, and relaxation. Just a few days into their stay, on July 14th, Dodi Fayed arrived. He was a 42-year-old film producer, known for his luxurious lifestyle, and had been engaged to model Kelly Fisher. However, Dodi later denied any formal engagement. As the days passed, Dodi and Diana grew closer. When Kelly left for a work trip on July 18th, Dodi turned his full attention to Diana and her sons. Determined to make their time special, he rented out an entire nightclub so they could dance without interruptions, and even arranged for a private visit to an amusement park, ensuring the young princes could have fun away from the public eye. Diana, who was always protective of her sons, was deeply touched by Dodi's efforts to make them feel comfortable. She later described their holiday as the best of my life. It was a rare time when she felt truly free. No cameras, no royal obligations, just moments of pure joy. After an unforgettable stay in Saint-Tropez, Diana said goodbye to William and Harry, who returned home. She then flew to Milan on July 22nd to attend the funeral of Gianni Versace, a close friend who had been tragically harmed just days earlier. How did her relationship with Dodi transform from simply being friends to a full-blown romance? An instant attraction. The relationship between these two individuals slowly transformed into a romantic one, and that was the beginning of Diana's newfound romance and adventure. After their relaxing getaway in the Mediterranean, Dodi Fayed picked up Princess Diana in London, and the two jetted off to Paris by helicopter. They checked into the luxurious Ritz Hotel, owned by Dodi's father, Mohammed Al-Fayed, hoping for a peaceful weekend away from the public eye. With the hotel's top-tier security keeping paparazzi at bay, the couple managed to enjoy some rare privacy. Earlier that month, Dodi had reportedly whisked Diana away on a trip to the French Riviera. On August 15th, they set off for the Greek Isles with Rosa Monckton, the president of Tiffany & Company and a close friend of Diana, for a pre-planned holiday. The trip, however, was anything but private. Paparazzi relentlessly followed Diana, eager to capture every moment of her time with Dodi. Meanwhile, British tabloids were in a frenzy over rumors that Dodi had offered his then-girlfriend, model Kelly Fisher, a large sum of money to quit her career and devote herself to him entirely. Feeling betrayed by Dodi's new romance, Kelly went public with her heartbreak, even threatening legal action. At the same time, Diana was making headlines for another reason. Despite the media circus around her love life, she remained dedicated to her humanitarian work. On August 9th, she flew to Bosnia aboard a helicopter, joining a mission to raise awareness about the dangers of landmines, an issue she had been passionately advocating for. Just months later, in December 1997, the Ottawa Treaty banning landmines would be signed, a significant step that she had fought hard to achieve. After her trip, Diana met Dodi again in London, and on August 21st, they set off for the south of France for another getaway. It was one of their final trips together before tragedy struck. During her travels, Diana was constantly pursued by the press. Paparazzi followed her every move, especially during her time in Greece with her close friend Rosa Monckton, president of Tiffany & Company. Rosa later shared that Diana had found it incredibly difficult to protect her privacy, and the constant attention was overwhelming. Diana and Dodi's romance had become the talk of the town, with British tabloids printing story after story about their relationship. Their highly publicized vacation at the Ritz Hotel in Paris, owned by Dodi's billionaire father, only fueled the media frenzy. Despite tight security, paparazzi were relentless in trying to snap pictures of them. Amidst all this, Diana had also been passionately continuing her humanitarian efforts. She traveled to Bosnia on a mission to support the ban on landmines, a cause close to her heart. The treaty she had been advocating for was eventually signed in December 1997, just months after her tragic passing. After spending time in Greece, Diana and Dodi briefly returned to London before flying back to the south of France on August 21st. Their whirlwind summer romance had captivated the world, with the media tracking their every move. Just a few days later, they would make their way to Paris, where Diana's journey would take a devastating and tragic turn. What were the events that followed these romantic escapades? An engagement that never happened. As history and numerous accounts, including dramatizations like The Crown, reveal, Princess Diana was enjoying her time with Dodi Al-Fayed in the summer of 1997. However, despite the luxurious yacht trips and the Mediterranean sun, those close to her recalled that she was eager to return home. Diana longed to reunite with her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, who were spending their summer holiday at Balmoral Castle in Scotland with their grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. During their trip, Diana and Dodi grew close, and the princess was reportedly touched when Dodi gifted her a pair of cufflinks that had once belonged to his father, Mohammed Al-Fayed. She was said to have told him that it would have made her late father incredibly happy to know that they were now in the care of someone so special. But despite the grand gestures and luxurious travels, her heart remained with her two boys. As their holiday was coming to an end, Diana was eager to return home. She had been away from William and Harry for weeks and was eager to reunite with them. But before that could happen, Dodi had planned a quick detour to Paris. According to reports, Diana wasn't entirely keen on the trip. She just wanted to see her sons, who were waiting for her in Balmoral with Queen Elizabeth and their father, Prince Charles. On August 30th, 1997, Diana and Dodi arrived in Paris, where he was set to collect a special piece of jewelry, a $200,000 Alberto Raposi ring called Dis-moi oui, which translates to "Tell me yes." The visit to the French capital was meant to be brief, just a stop on their way back to London. That evening, before leaving for dinner at the Ritz Hotel, Diana had her final conversation with her loved ones. She first spoke with Prince Charles, her former husband, before calling Prince William and Prince Harry. After picking up an engagement ring from a Paris jeweler, Dodi and Diana got into a car driven by Henry Paul, the head of security at the Ritz Hotel, who had reportedly been drinking that night. The plan was to return to Dodi's apartment, but the car never arrived. It crashed inside the Pont de l'Alma tunnel, leaving Henri and Dodi dead on the spot. Diana was rushed to Pitié-Salpêtrière Hospital, but despite doctors' desperate efforts, she was pronounced dead at 3 a.m. on August 31, 1997. The world woke up to the heartbreaking news just a few hours later. After the tragic events, rumors of foul play began spreading and soon took over the internet. How true were these claims? Suspicions of foul play. A major British investigation into the 1997 car crash that killed Princess Diana has officially ruled out any foul play. According to a report from the Daily Mail, a review, led by Sir John Stevens, former head of the Metropolitan Police, debunked long-standing conspiracy theories about the deaths of Diana, her boyfriend Dodi Fayed, and their driver Henry Paul. For years, speculation ran wild that Princess Diana's death was not an accident. Some believed that her former husband, Prince Charles, had orchestrated the crash to eliminate her. Others, including Mohammed Al Fayed, Dodi's father and owner of Harrods in London, claimed that both Prince Charles and Prince Philip were behind it. However, after a 2-year investigation involving 10 detectives, authorities found no evidence to support these claims. The inquiry determined that the accident was caused by a combination of reckless driving and excessive speed. The Mercedes carrying Diana was moving so fast through the Pont d'Alma tunnel in Paris that even a skilled race car driver would have struggled to keep control. The report confirmed the findings of an earlier French investigation, which concluded that Henry Paul, the driver, was intoxicated when he left the Ritz Hotel with Diana, Dodi, and their bodyguard, Trevor Rees-Jones. Rees-Jones was the only survivor of the crash, while Diana, Dodi, and Henry Paul lost their lives. French courts later dropped manslaughter charges against 9 paparazzi who were initially accused of chasing the car and taking photos at the scene. The highest court in France ruled in 2002 that the photographers were not responsible for the crash. One mystery still lingers. Why were all traffic cameras along the route, including inside the tunnel, not working that night? French officials claimed the cameras were simply out of service, but the Daily Express challenged that claim. The newspaper reported that a woman had been caught speeding by a tunnel camera just moments before Diana's crash, raising doubts about the official explanation. Despite the unanswered questions, British police have remained firm in their stance. A Metropolitan Police spokesman refused to discuss the report, stating that the investigation is still ongoing and that the interim findings have yet to be presented to the coroner. Although the circumstances surrounding Princess Diana's tragic death continue to fuel speculation, official investigations have consistently ruled out any kind of assassination or planned attack. Instead, authorities maintain that it was a terrible accident caused by dangerous driving, excessive speed, and an impaired driver. Even after more than 2 decades, Diana's death remains one of the most talked about tragedies in modern history. While some may never accept the official conclusions, the inquiry aims to put an end to the conspiracy theories and bring clarity to the untimely loss of the beloved Princess of Wales. Do you think Princess Diana's tragic death was purely an accident? Or do you believe there was more to the story? Has King Charles ever publicly addressed the suspicions surrounding her passing? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it